Are we live?
We are.
Let me get here. It's not coming up for me, if you would. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
All right.
That.
So I'm probably the one watching.
Yep,
There's
they're two now.
Two?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just thought I'd pop up with a live stream today. Get that turned down. You don't need to have where it doesn't echo. I'm working on the foundation today. I haven't done something like this in quite some time, as far as doing gluing and things along those natures. So,
Michael Fedora says, "Hi, how you doing?"
Doing good. How are you? We are going to work on scenery today. I have my cup full of my white glue. I got my cup for cleaning the eyedropper, which is right here. I got my 2 cups of sand right here. And the rest of the stuff I'll get as I need it. Good morning, everybody.
Say, oh yeah, Carl. And Michael says, "I'm great. Hot day here."
A hot day, yep.
Yeah.
Well, we finally cooled down here a little bit, so we're good. So today I'm gonna put all of the sand back here.
Well, Carl says, "Long time no see."
Yeah, we just did a live stream last night, so we decided to do one during the day today. Oh, that's a good shot of that area.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I get to see the
you
whole
can see
workbench.
everything. Yeah, you can see the area where I do all my paint mixes and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Okay,
Have you got this then?
got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go do.
So this is our foundation for our one of our Skid Row blocks. This is the there's the the fence that I made, the custom fence that I made with all of the graffiti on it. This side with all the graffiti right there. So now the next step, I took my 2 buildings and I put them on here and I traced out the footprint of where they're supposed to go. So I'll know where to not put down scenery material. I've got my spot, I've got my area marked out here where our pool goes, our little tiny swimming pool between the 2 towers. You can see that goes right there. I lined it up on the lines. And then our tower that had the meth lab blow up on the top floor, it goes right there. So what I got to do now is I'm going to put I'm going to fill in with the sand in the areas that I'm going to get kind of close to the lines that I have, and I'll probably have to scrape some back because it just kind of goes everywhere. I have to be careful along here where the sidewalk is, but it'll all work out pretty good. What I'm going to do over here for the parking lot, I finally decided what I'm going to do for my parking lots in this area. I'm going to use the fine cinders, the black cinders that you can buy from Woodland Scenics, and I'm going to put those wherever my gray parking lots are. I'm going to mush them down, get everything nice and flat. And what that will enable me to do is I can come in then after it's all dried, I can chunk out little bits and I can paint the dirt where on old asphalt parking areas and streets, it always chunks up and stuff. So I'm going to simulate that. I'll be covering the seam right here with the material as soon as we get going with this. I'm going to have to be really careful here. I've got a brush here so that I can get stuff cleaned off. I'm going to be really careful along my sidewalks. I'm going to have a little dirt come out on the sidewalks, that's fine. But I don't want a whole lot of dirt to come out. All right, so what we do is I'm going to get rid of some of these bigger chunks that are in here. Try to get it to more of the sand. I may have to mix this around. This is tube sand from Walmart that they bring out in the wintertime for people that have trucks to put in the beds of the trucks for weight, for traction. This is like $5 a bag, and it's a 40-pound bag. So I'll have enough sand for pretty much the entire layout, both levels. So that'll work out fine. All right, so I just took some and got rid of some of the top big rock off. Try and get it down to the better, just thin sand, finer grade sand. Yeah, I got some right there now. Okay. All right, let's clear all this off. So, my glue mixture that I have here, I'm not sure if I have enough dish detergent in it yet. I won't know for a little while here. Until I start dripping it on top of what I've done. So the way I get started with this, it's real simple. I have a paper towel. I once I dip it, I get all of the bubbles and stuff off the outside of the dropper, and I have one that has an angle to it versus a straight one. Makes it a little easier to work with. So we're going to just start here, and we're going to just start covering all of this right up to the fence. I'm going to do just a little bit at a time so I can sift and get the good fine sand. So when I do that, I squeeze the rest out and I bring some clean water into it. All right, so now we're going to see what we can find here as far as thin sand goes. There we go. And all I'm doing is just sprinkling this right over the glue that I put down. This is just going to be an alleyway back behind the buildings. This is where the anybody needs access to the building, or like I might have the dumpsters back here. I'm just going to get the bigger chunks out. Just get it down to the fine stuff. And I'll bring the camera down, or bring this up to the camera so you can see it from time to time. This is just the first step that I do. I'm going to go into this. It's going to be a little easier to get into this, I think. There we go. So we're just going to keep putting this along the different lines, the edges. Whew, that was almost a disaster. Okay. So now we get a little more of the glue. Got my towel ready to get the foam off of it. All right, we're just going to keep rolling along right through here. I'm going to go ahead and start to seal this crack up right here with the material. We're just going to come a little bit at a time, just about like that. Now, I'm going to order some static grass tufts, and I'm going to put those along the fence line in various spots. Again, I'm just using the finest of the sand that comes in this. So you have to shake it up every now and then to get the finer to come to the surface and the more coarse stuff to go down below. All right, I want to get some of that crack right there. So we're going to just put a bead of glue right along here. I'll probably go a little further out, like about here. Okay. Oh, it's good you joined us. We're just working on this Skid Row area. Normally, we've been doing these at night, these live streams at night. I haven't done one in a day like this, a work one like this in the day in a while. So I just thought I'd go ahead and do it and see what happens. This is where I was planning on doing all of this anyway. So now we're starting to seal that crack up pretty good there now. And this will dry as light as this. So you see how light this is in here. It's just dark because of the wetness of the sand, or not the sand, but the glue for right now. So by probably this evening, this will be nice and light again, and it'll look really good. I'm not too worried about covering absolutely everything. That's why I did a base coat of paint, was to make sure that if I didn't get everything covered, these colors would come through, which are pretty close to the color that I use here, the sand. So it works out pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and do some sprinkling through here. So I know there's a few spots that look like they need to be filled in and whooshed down a little bit. I'm whoosh some things down there a little bit. All right, so we're just going to keep working along the back here. As you can see that crack where I had this was the original width or depth of the block, but then I added on the extra wood to bring that out a little bit further from the edge. So I was able to pick up some extra depth here to put the back alleyway in. So I had to cut a piece and put it on there. That's why it just looks, you have this right here and it looks a little different, is because it is a marriage between the two. So we're just going to keep doing this. So you're in Ontario. Oh, well, very good. Glad you joined us. Yeah, I watch a lot of videos, even just to get inspiration and stuff for my own work. Um, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Most of my stuff is ideas that I've seen either in books or techniques. A lot of the techniques I have developed. My paint techniques and things like that. For my art background, I've developed a lot of that on my own, but I've also shown a lot of those in the videos. Yeah, we do have a ton of videos. If you haven't been with us before, um, we have over 1,300 videos up on our channel. We have all kinds of how-tos and demonstrations and things like that. So if you're looking everything from good materials to use, product reviews, things like that, stuff we use. So if you want to check that out, if you're looking for any recommendations on stuff, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so it's not like it's just not the stuff I find works best for me. Just rotating this, try to get some of this good stuff to come up to the top here. I like this sand from Menards. It's got some black bits in it, really fine things. It's got little tiny rocks that just microscopic looking stuff. So I'll come back in here, and any that are like really big, I will get those out, because obviously that would not be in a back alleyway like that. That would hurt a vehicle driving over that, obviously. So just moving right along with it. Actually, after I get done with this one, I'm letting this back alley dry. I'll I'll get the black done. I'll get the cinders down for the parking lot. Once I get that done, I'll be painting the other one. I have the other block like this. I've just got to paint the brown. I'll show you what I do to do that, to get these different colors and stuff. Hate ads and commercials. Yeah, but they do help us. our ad dollars, everything that we get off of donations, ad dollars, everything just goes right back into the layout to make more videos. All right, about halfway across, getting there. You can just tell when you get a pinch of this stuff if you're gonna if you've got some good or you've got too much that's too coarse. There's a good match. Like I said, once I get the those couple of tufts of static grass that I can cut apart and get all along the fence line here, that's going to just make it look better and better. I'm just doing like pinch and salt. That's all I'm doing, just to dribble this stuff on here. We're definitely getting there. Like I said, I'll come back in after it dries and I'll pick these bigger ones out. And then we'll also put some Woodland Scenics turf in, earth colored. And I'll probably make my paths the trail, like the tracks for the vehicles back in here. I'll do that with the darker colored earth from Woodland Scenics. There we go. We're getting there. Sorry if the lights are flickering. We're in the middle of printing big panels for our next skyscraper that we've got going. The Alexandria. We got the Artemis done. We're working on the Alexandria now. So that's going to be a 4-foot tall. It'll be our tallest tower yet. We have a 3.5-foot tall in scale skyscraper. This one's going to be 4 foot tall. So we're getting there with it. There's just it's going to take about a week to print all the parts, all the components to it. Most of the end. We're going to have probably a live stream tomorrow night. We'll be doing a run session uh, with this in the background. I'll hold you, as soon as I get done with this little bit here, I'll show you the backs of the buildings. I just finished those up with all of the utility stuff. I've got all my electric meters back there and gas meters and the whole works. I got all that done on the back side. I'm gonna come back in here and fill in some of the bare spots. That's looking pretty good. Like I said, I'll pick all these big ones out. Just gonna try to mush things down a little bit here so it's a little more flat. There we go. That's drying up pretty good because nothing came up off on my fingers there, so that was a good test for it. I know the glue's got a pretty good mix. It's about let's see, I guess I'm gonna say it's probably about 20% glue mix. Oh yeah, it's mixed. I've got enough detergent in it. It's doing those little explosion things where it spreads and it doesn't make it all beat up and roll away. So I didn't know how good the mix was because this was a fresh cup full today. I'll wind up using this cup. I've refreshed it. I usually leave the cup with the glue in it and I just add more water as I go. That way I don't just waste any of it. I'll probably wind up using this cup for the next month, and then I'll wind up throwing it out eventually because it just gets built up too much. But the initial batch of initial mix is always the tricky one, getting the dish detergent amount right so that it penetrates and doesn't beat up on the surface. But it looks like it did pretty good, so I'm all right with that. So we're going to shift over here to the cinders so we can make the asphalt parking lot. I want it to be kind of textury because I'm going to come back in after it's all dried, the asphalt part. When it's all dried, I'm going to chunk bits out of it and get down to the surface below and have like the dirt and things like you see in the parking lots that's needed a repaving for a very long time but hasn't gotten it. That came off of my finger, that's good. Only thing that came off was one of the rocks I was going to get later anyway. All right, so that's pretty good for that back alleyway. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let me go grab my bag. Oh, here, I'll show you this real quick. This is right here. So this is what I was working on earlier today. Here's the backs of the buildings that are here. You can see we've got all the utilities down there at the bottom. Those are the meters, gas and electric with the weatherhead. Here's the back of the building that had the meth lab on the top floor explode. So there you can see go down just a little bit so you can see the meth lab explosion up there. When the boards all filled in to seal up the shattered windows. All right, so let's go. Where's my? Here it is. Okay, let's grab that. All right, so here's the fine cinders. So I use this for a lot of different things. This can be coal, great size for coal in coal cars and in scale. I've used it for surfacing things. So now we're going to use this to create the parking lot right here. Everything just stand upright for me. Where's my big black bottle of paint? Ah, right here. Put that right there so it'll stay upright. Okay. So now we'll just start working this area right here. Get my glue. Do But again, a little bit of time. This stays wet for a long time, so I'm not too worried about it. As far as the speed of getting stuff done, getting it onto the surface goes, it'll go pretty quick. Now, if I go over any lines where I've got stuff setting, I'll just scrape those areas smooth. No big deal. Okay. So, that out. And I'll press all this down to get it all smooth here in just a little bit. I'm just getting the first coats on, first layers. Working that in a little bit. Yeah, this will work fine as far as being able to gouge stuff out. I'll be able to put cracks in and have the weeds coming through and dirt coming through by just simply coming in here and just using my X-Acto blade and digging out areas. I was going to use sandpaper, but I wouldn't be able to do the grass effects like I want to do. And then I'll get it all mushed down flat and put more glue on top and get it nice and smooth. And then I'll be able to come in and put paint effects like oil stains and stuff, and that'll be after I get the chunks out and have the dirt, big stuff coming through. Okay. Now I've got this brush right here. I'm gonna pull that back like that. That's good. Pull this back here like that. That's good. All right. Now we're just going to keep moving along with this. We'll be doing a couple of lives on this thing, showing different things as we're going along, as we're getting these areas complete. So if you like this, like and subscribe if you want, and that way you won't miss out on any of it. And we'll, now that summer's here and my son's off from school, we should be able to get a lot of videos going this summer. And I checked the color of this because I am using sandpaper for the streets. So I checked the color of this black against the sandpaper that I'm using, and it's a perfect match. So you won't be able to tell too much. This will just look like older asphalt versus the streets itself. And we'll put weeds all along where the asphalt and the sidewalk come together. start leveling it. That way, if any comes up, I can fill it back in. This will give you some good depth when I start to dig it out with the X-Acto blade to get the dirt underneath. Oh. There we go. Good. Then once I get down here and I get this, then I'll come over the top of all of it again with another coat of glue. I'll just do this little section right here. I want to work this entrance in pretty good. I'm just going to do right to here. Get it smooth. Clean my sidewalks up. There we go. I'll just finish up this little area here. We'll put another layer of glue over the top of it. I don't know, I can't remember exactly where the building comes right here. I know some of the greens or gray still shows through, so I'm not going to go right up to the brown right in here. Okay. All right. what's nice about these cinders is they've got like different varying colors of the black. So it's really nice that there'll be it's just not going to be all solid one color. Just getting everything smooth before we do the surface gluing. Okay. Now we'll get the sidewalks cleaned off. All right. I think that's going to be pretty good. All right, so now we're going to see what we can do about putting glue on top. This is where I'll find out for sure if I've got a decent glue mix. As it does, it'll just penetrate and not beat up. Doing great. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Don't have to do anything. It was a perfect mix. Don't have to add anything to it. No more dish detergent, no more soap. Or the soap, and no more glue. Looks like it's going to be okay. I'm actually going to take some of the once everything's dry and I pick all these little bits off, I'm going to take some of the sand and dirt, turf, the earth, and I'm going to bring it over onto this. So I'll have it kind of blending in this area right here, like cars have gone through here and gone into here, or vice versa, and they've tracked dirt into this area. These are all those just little details that you think about wear and tear. That's just going to add to the scene. Oh yeah, that's glowed just beautifully. It's really starting to look like a textured asphalt surface now for sure. Now that I'm getting this top glue in. A couple little areas, it sank down a little bit. It compacted down. I'll have to add a little bit extra right to that. Very good. Yeah, getting all the lighting done and everything. That's gonna be the next step for this little area after I get the rest of this done. Once I get the buildings in place, then of course that'll be the final step. All right, got a few areas here I've got to add a little bit to. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. There we go. All right, let me add a little bit, and I'll have to put a little bit of glue back on the two spots where it kind of got a little thin, which is right here. So I don't know where I want to have my little chunked out areas yet, so I just want a nice smooth surface for right now. And then I'll deal with digging out the areas later, putting my cracks in and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I think we just about got it. And I'll set the building in here. I just want to test clearances now. Quite sure where exactly everything went, so I know I had a few spots here and there. All right. Good. That went flying. All right, so let's do some neatening it up. I'm going to set the building here and just see how good we're looking. I didn't bring enough in to come far enough for the building to be right up next to it. I'll save that until I'm ready to install this onto the layout, and then I'll fill things in. Right now I just want to get it close. Okay. I don't think I put a top layer of glue on that. It was so thin, I probably don't need to, but it's better to have it so you know it's solid and everything's done. I won't do it down here by the parking lot because I want those black bits to come out. All right. We're pretty well glued into this point. All right, so let's get the building. All right. First thing I'm going to do is get all the black off my fingers. I don't want to touch the building with any of the powder. Get that smearing on them. There we go. All right. We'll put this one in place and we'll just kind of see how we're looking here. There they are. Yeah, that's how far out it's got to come. Okay. That's pretty good. Back looks fine. Gonna clear all that. No problem. All right, so where's my pencil? I want to make another mark here. If I can find my pencil. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, that figures. Let's blow that off there. Right back. I'm going to take this into the trash can and just blow this off. All right, well, it didn't come off, so I'll have to put a little extra sand there. The rest of it's all fine. At least I turned it upside down like that. I was able to tell where I missed a whole bunch of areas. Let me brush that off. Okay. That'll do it. Yeah, don't have any build up there next to the fence, so we're good. Well, thank you. Trying to make it look as good as we can. Had a bit of an accident just now. The bag tipped over. Of course it tipped over. It had to tip over, you know. So I'll just have to redo this. We're in Wisconsin. On the border of Illinois. So we're about 45 miles from both Milwaukee and then the other way to Chicago. Well, I'm getting this filled back in. Gabe, take the camera and just show the city. So you guys gonna get an update on where the city is right now. And then you just set it back in place. Here, yeah, just slide that all the way back over here.
Okay, there we go.
Just, yeah.
All right. So here is the city. Got all our skyscrapers lining up in the back there.
Yeah, we're working on the new skyscraper right now.
That's what these panels in front of the cream building are.
Yeah, that's going to be the Alexandria Hotel. We've got, we're just working on the lower section right now, printing the lower section. We've still got another week's worth of printing left to go to get it all done, but we'll get there. We always do. I mean, you can see the big ones in the back. We'll get there.
Michael says, awesome buildings.
Thank you, Michael.
Justin says it's a passion and an addiction.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It most certainly is.
So then, and then here is the bridge.
The parking garage is what's new.
Yep.
Point out that. We just finished the parking garage this past weekend.
That there. Yeah, it's what, 11 stories?
Yeah, I think it was 11. I think it wound up coming in 11 stories tall.
Yeah. There's the bridge and Skid Row. And then a workshop area over by the window.
That should be pretty good.
Yeah. Set you guys back up here.
Yep. Got all this back in place. The bag tipped over.
Oh no.
Yeah. It kind of blended some colors over what I was going to do anyway.
Oh.
But I had to just kind of it was just a little too much.
Yeah. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yep.
So there's a tour of the layout. We ran some Amtrak last night on the live stream. We have a guy that has, well, a couple people have actually donated through our Amazon wish list. Have donated well, not quite a few, but some really nice stuff. And we were running them last night. We had the Surfliner going, and we had the auto train going, and so it was a pretty fun run night. And we just talked about new projects coming and everything. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry at this point, and I'm gonna bring down the other one. I'm gonna paint the base of the other one that has the 3 buildings. You can see here we've even got graffiti on the building. I even went that far to do that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get this kind of up and out of the way. Not quite sure where I'm going to set that. I may just put it down here with these things. So that is definitely going to get there. Tower here, tower there, swimming pool in between, and then just tons and tons of people around, cars parked, chunked up, dirt in, the whole works. That actually is blending in beautifully right there. I like that a lot, showing the dirt coming in into the parking lot and stuff. So it's going to get exactly where I want it to be. Like I said, I'll come back in with my X-Acto and I'll chunk out bits, and then we'll put grass along the edges here between the sidewalk and that. We'll put the tufts around the. We'll get the static grass tufts, and we'll put it all along the fence line back here. So that'll just finish it up just beautifully. So I'm just going to pick this up and get it out of the way. Yeah, that's going to be just fine. That's good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I've got, where are you? I've got this one. So I need to make my marks for how far the parking lot goes. So here's the next block to the right. So it handles these little buildings right here. So I'm going to line these up where they go, and then I'm going to mark the edges so that I'll know where to paint my brown paint. If you haven't worked with us when we did these, you can see how I really weathered these. You had paint coming through from previous years of painting, good staining, everything going on those. So it's another good looking block right here. We're going to just make a mark right there. And I'm going to come across the back right there. I think I'm just going to go ahead. Well, I don't know what size building I'm going to put right here. So I may just go ahead and just paint the whole thing. I may just paint the whole thing and just forget about it, because I may move these around a little bit. I may separate this guy and move him here with a bigger alley between. So I don't know yet exactly the final placement on these. So I guess maybe the better thing to do is just to paint the whole thing. That's probably going to be the best. All right. So organized. I wish if you actually saw a close up of my table this way, you know I'm not organized. I mean, I have stacks and stacks of stuff. I'm usually digging through trying to find everything. So, but I keep it clear enough where I know the general area of where stuff is that I'm looking for it. And about once a month I'll come in and I'll clear everything off and I'll clean it all up, and within a week it'll be dirty. I just had to get a little drink of water there, throat's getting a little dry. All right, so got to mix the paint. I have my got my paper towel down here, ready to go. So we're gonna do. There's my thing for the colors. I'm gonna put my glue off to the side if I can find a spot for it, which I can. I'll put it back here. That'll be fine. Okay, so I need the chestnut. Here's the first color. And you know what I'm going to do, so I don't get anything on the bottom of this. I'm going to change out my paper towels from all the stuff that has the glue on it. So I'm not going to get anything in the paint. All right. Get a couple more paper towels. Yeah. Okay, so here's I have cups that have color that I use to clean the brushes with. I was just doing some earlier today. This is clear water at the beginning of the day, but it isn't now. I generally clean it out every couple of days or so. So I'll need that color for the most part with this color right here. This is just the liquid that I use to clean with. What I use for the surface for this entire area is going to be, and let me get my brush. Let's see, where's my brush? Here's my brush. Nope, that's not the one. Well, that's not the one. Maybe this is the one. No, that ain't it. No, this must be the one. It's good enough anyway. Or this it here. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so I need chestnut. Chestnut. Let's see here. Is that it? There it is. Okay. So I just use cheap craft paint from Walmart. These are 59 cents a bottle, and I just thin them down to inconsistencies, and that's all I use on everything I do. Everything I paint is done this way. All this that I've done here already has been like that. Ooh, I missed doing the brown, so I'll have to do the brown. Maybe I'll do that. I'll get this brown in here first, and then I'll put the brown on the sidewalk. Okay, so I think that was just honey brown. I need to keep a list. I used to keep a list of what paints I use for what, and I haven't done that in a while, and I've been paying for it lately. So I need to get back to doing that. All right, so let's get a little bit of this going. Okay, so I'll get some of the, I don't know if this is in the picture or not. Probably, yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm getting it down to half of what I'll use. I'll have wet like this, real ink, and the rest will be the thick paint straight out of the bottle. I just kind of mix between the two. Don't do anything fancy with this. Just come in and just start smearing it and getting some coverage on here. And I'll show you what I do here in a sec. I'm going to get right up to that edge right there. Get right up to this edge right here. This is the dark brown that I use as the undercoat. We'll put the light mocha is the color I use for the top. This just gives me that nice warmth underneath. Like I said, more than likely you won't ever see any of this once I get, as you were watching when I was putting the stuff on. But if I missed a spot, then I know there'll be brown underneath and I don't have to worry about it. It won't be seen. I do have to make my fence for the back of this, which I will be doing probably later today. It's going to be a fence just like the other one. It's going to have, I'm going to make it, custom make it, using the styrene from, I think it's Evergreen, is who has the type that I like to use. It has the grooves in it. That's, I found one that's perfect for N scale. I know the parking is going to be right in here somewhere, so I'm just going to bring it up to about right here, and I'll just leave it at that. Because like I said, I don't know how wide this building on the corner is going to be. This may just be parking just enough for like just one row of cars right here. So I'm just going to do it to about right there. Now what I do, just to get things to kind of blend a little better, is I'll get a lot of water on the brush, and then I'll just put fresh water, well, not fresh water, but I just put water on here, and I just let it mix. And you really get some really cool things happening when you do this. What I use a lot on when I'm doing weathering on my cars is I'll do this kind of an effect. Now this is going to take a while to dry, obviously. So what I may wind up doing is building the fence while I'm waiting for this to dry. So I can put the light mocha on top, because this is going to take probably about good 45 minutes to dry before I can put the top coat on. So I might as well take advantage of that time and build a fence. All right. Well, that's pretty good. That should actually do it. I know that's a funky looking color, but by the time I get all the rest of the stuff put on, it'll all blend in and work like you saw what was happening with the other. All right, so let's see here. Where am I going to put that to dry while I'm working on the fence? I got to make some room here. Maybe let's put it on this board that I've got the other one drawing on. I'll just do that. So as you can see, this is drawing up really well. I'll get some really good blend right here with, get this in the picture a little bit better. I get a blend right here between these two, having it going across, and then of course all the grass and everything in here, stuff chunked out. Oh, it is really getting nice and smooth. This really looks like asphalt. That was just a perfect choice for that. I'm happy with that. Okay, so this down below here, that is exactly what was the first coat on this. So we went from that to that. So you can see you cover up most of it, but now you can see here on the sides though, right in here, we do have some of that brown coming through, which is a great border to have in place, and I can put my grasses along there and things, and it'll look just perfect. So, but some of that brown will poke through without having to actually put any landscaping material on it. Try to keep this from rolling off of here, the paint. There we go. All right, so that's out of the way. So I am pretty sure I made those fences 9/16. All right, so here's the piece of styrene that I use. You're probably not going to see it, but it's got a very nice tight pattern to it right there. So I'm going to get this out of the way. Don't need to get it down on the back of it. Where's my ruler? Here it is. I should just measure this fence down here, and I get the lengths and everything I need, but right now I think I just need to, I'm just off screen for just a sec while I get this. Yeah, I was right, it's 9/16. Okay, and this is, I think this was 10.5. Yep, 10.5. Okay, so 9/16 by 10.5. All right, and I know I had to have 4 of these before, so I will draw out the 9/16. Provided I find my pencil. Organized chaos. Let's see here. I've got 3 pencils in here that I work with. I can't find, oh, here it is. It's right up here on the shelf. Gee, well, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna make my mark. I love these rulers. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. I've used this ever since my art days when I was doing my railroad art. Fantastic rulers. I mean, I love this grid work here. You can do any kind of lines you want. You can make things parallel, the whole works. So if you have a chance to get one of these, I find it to be just an absolute must for me. All right, so 9/16. All right, I'm gonna get something to work on here. I got those other 2 paper towels set aside for when I finish painting that one. So I'm just going to get 2 for working on this because I want something to catch the glue. I have wax paper down below. That's because of the PLA glue that I use on the towers. It's pretty potent and strong. So it's good to have that down because it doesn't stick to wax paper. All right. Now the other thing I have, if I can find it here, there it is. I have a really nice metal ruler. And on the back side, it's got cork on it, glued to it, so it doesn't slide. That's really good to have. All right, I'll get this set up here. Let's see here. All right, I just had you. Where are you? Nope, that's my file. I was just using you. Usually wind up putting paper towels down on stuff and I can't find them for a long time. And it fall down here. It did not. Where did it go? Uh, Done it again, Gabe.
What?
Done it again. Can't find my X-Acto blade. Yes, I looked under the paper towels. Smart Alec. He knows me too well.
Let's see.
Is it up there anywhere? Do you see it up on the shelves anywhere?
I don't know. I bet it's on the floor.
No, because I know when those drop. Because that's the first thing I'll do is because I watch my feet. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm not going to stab myself in the foot.
Yeah.
So no, I no, it's not going to be on the floor.
Yeah, it's under there.
Yeah, of course not. Of course.
Oh, I am being serious. It didn't get like shoved under the.
Oh, geez, look out. Way over here, right in plain view.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you know. Other project for another day.
Well, it's buried with all the silver stuff too.
Yeah.
So there's more gray and silver over there.
All right, so we're just gonna.
Did I get you anything?
No, I just had some water, so
Okay.
I'm pretty good. I'm just gonna. Using that cork on there really helps. Why is there a cork on the fork?
What?
That line from that movie.
Oh.
Why does he have a cork on his fork? That was somebody may know it, so I'm not going to say what it is. See if anybody remembers that line from a movie. Why is there a cork on his fork? I'll tell you right now, it starred Steve Martin. It was a funny movie. Yep. All right, so there's the first 4 of these strips. So we'll just pop right through these and get a fence made. And obviously we're going perpendicular to the groove lines. Otherwise we'd have really long pieces of wood going this way. Never seen a fence built that way, so. I'm not going to be the first one to do it. What's going on here? Well, that actually just went up. Okay. Well, let's see. Put these back to back, make sure they're the same all the way, which they are. Okay, we're good. So two more. Two more. This is an easy way to do a really cool fence. Old beat up fence if you want one for somewhere on your layout. This of course is for our Skid Row area, so this is going to be really beat up. Just like that other one was that you can actually see through because it's missing so many boards. Now the reason I'm cutting so many of these is because you glue them back to back. You want this on both sides. It doesn't go through both sides, the pattern, so you have to glue them back to back. Almost there. Check, make sure we're doing all right. Yep, everything's good. One more. And we'll get them cut to the right length. One has to be cut down. And I have to cut the ends off of the longer ones because there's a really funky little extra groove on the end, half groove on this side that you have to eliminate. Looks like I'm gonna have enough on the sheet to probably do at least another 2 blocks. That'll put me almost the entire end of the Skid Row area. So that's not bad. All right. Should be it. I won't be able to show you what I have to cut off on the one end because it's just, you're not going to be able to see it on the camera. But, all right, done with that. So, down on this side right, is it this side? This side. It's got the half. It's this side. You're going to see one of these ends is going to have a half to it, so you just have to get that off of there. And you want to make sure you get it off of every one in the same spot. And some are a little bit bigger than others. All you got to do is just cut that little bit off of there. Okay. And depending on whether I can find my file. Okay. All right, one more. We'll just file those ends real quick. I don't know why they left this little bit extra on here in the mold. I have no idea. All right, and I'll take my big file here. And we will get that squared off. It's got a lot of black on it because I was cutting the black styrene for making my pool. That stuff is just dirty. It just gets powder everywhere. All right. I believe I said they were 10.5 long. All right, so we're gonna get this out of the way. Got my glue right there. So we're good to go on that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at these and try to find the best pieces. Make sure they're all the same thickness. They are, they're good. All right, so we're gonna do, we're doing an overlap is what we're doing. So, what I have to do is I have to get, I don't remember how I did this. Oh yeah. All right. So this piece is, how wide is this? 6 inches. So I need a 4.5 piece. I need two 4.5 pieces, 4.5-inch pieces. All right. So we'll just make a mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get back on there. 4.5. So this groove right there. All right. Then we're going to take this. We'll do the same thing with this one. That's the good end. So we're going to put that right there. And we're going to go 4.5. So that groove right there. All right. So that gives me the length of my fence. So now we'll just cut. I'm not going to go all the way through since I got rid of my cardboard. So we're just going to score it and pop it. Yep. All right. So score it and then pop it. All right. So here's the length of here we have all the components for our fence. All right. So now what we need to do is we're going to take this and we are going to get our glue. I've got a thing up there showing what I reviewed this on one of our videos. So this is Testors cement. A lot of people don't like this one because they have a lot of problems with this getting that cleared, but they supply you with, I'll show you here. They supply you with a piece of metal that you just take it and you just put it down inside that neck.
Hello, how you doing?
Do what?
Eugene says hello, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Eugene. So all you do is just have to get this down in the neck like that, and you just take it out, and you're clear. And if you have a hard time with it, use a pair of needle nose pliers and just take it in just a little bit at a time. Not that big a deal. Best glue on the market. All right, so I'm going to take this. I'm just going to get that end. We're going to dab it off a little bit. Don't want too much. Get the excess off. Almost glued the two longs to each other. That would have been good. All right, so we're just going to glue this together right here. Oh, hey, Penzi. Yeah. We just got done doing a bunch of work on the foundations for the first building, the first of the skid row. So we're now working on the fence for the back of the second. Now what I want to do is I want to get this up here like this. and do that. Making sure that it's flat, it stays flat with the table. Okay, so now all you do is you turn it over like this, and we take the long one here, and we're going to span it over the gap. So let's see how long we're going to go. And we'll get everything straightened here with this one. Once we get it in place. This is all I did for that first fence that we have on the back of that other block. Making sure it's flat. All good. Yep. Oh, okay. I'll do that. Gotta move this down just a little bit. Love this glue. It's gonna be dry here in just a few seconds. All right, so we'll take a look here, make sure the ribbing on the top is lined up. And it has. Okay, so we're good. So all we gotta do now is glue this one right here. And this will be our length that we need. All right. Very good. Well, make sure it's all flush and it's nice and straight with the tabletop so that we won't have any bowing to it. Yep. We're good. All right. So we now have our fence that we are ready to go. We'll give this a couple seconds here to set. While I'm doing that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to find my little strips that I need. Must be on the table. Where is this then? Here they are. So here's a little bag of evergreen strips. This is going to wind up being on the back side. That will be the beams. It'll be our posts, and it'll be the cross beam that goes all the way across. We're going to have that in a little bit here, but what we're going to have to do now, I'm going to put the cap of glue, so fumes and all that fun stuff. So now we're going to do, we're going to beat this fence up. I'm just getting it, making sure it's nice and level with the, yep, with the surface of the table is fine. All right, I need, where are you? Here you are. Okay, so I've been using this X-Acto for this blade for quite a while. And I'm getting it, and I can see the tips broken off. So the hardest part is this is when it gets really on. I really get it tight on here. Yeah, because you don't want to cut yourself all up doing this. There we go. That one. Get a new one. Back in this. Put that back over here. Oh, what is this? These the same ones? Oh, so which did I use? Uh-oh, I have two of these up here. So let's see which one I did. Make it match. Okay, so now randomly, just randomly, I'm going to see which side I want to use as the bottom versus the top. That's pretty good. I'll make this the bottom. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna just come in here and I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna take out beams. Or take out, I'm just gonna start, better get my, yeah, better get this. Otherwise I'm gonna have a problem. Okay. Where was I? There we are. Okay. Here. All right. So we're just going to come through like that. Cut it at an angle here in between. Go a little bit like that. So there's our first. Let's see if you can see this. Get up a little higher here. Yeah, you can see that I've got that first little board cut out of there. That's just going to be representing where one has just gotten broken over the years. So now I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to repeat doing this along here, just doing scattered damage. That. I think I will. I want to make this a little wider. I want to make this 2 boards wide here, damage. Like that. You can see how that's coming out now on the bottom. That should, I'll get up a little higher here for you so you can see it there. There we go. Okay, so now we're just going to keep doing that sort of thing. I'm going to do a little one next to it. Perfect. I'm going to come down here. Now I'm going to leave some. I'm going to leave some areas really nice, and I'll when I go to my painting process, I'll make those boards like this a section that got replaced. So I'll just make some areas like that. Now what's cool is when you put in the beams on the back side of this, they'll cross over these open areas, and it's a great detail. So here, I'll get this up here so you can see how we're doing. Yeah, that's we're starting to do it. About halfway across with this part. And all I'm doing is just going into the grooves that's on here from the styrene itself. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Like I said, I wanted this one to be a little more beat up. I'm gonna even do just a little bit right here. Make this gap a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. I go a little bit bigger here so that the beam back behind will really show through right there. That'll look really good. Not to mention, we'll probably have vertical beams coming down too. Make sure this is still staying nice and straight the way it's supposed to be. Feels like it is. All right. So I think that's gonna. I'm just gonna kind of finish up down here. I'm gonna skip a bunch of areas, and I'm just gonna come down here. A couple small ones at this end. So I gotta have room for my graffiti too. So I can put a good piece. I can put a good piece of graffiti here. Put one here. Small one here. So I may just do like a long board out right here. So I've got another good spot right here to do graffiti. You got to keep those kind of things in mind if you're going to do that. There. All right, so I'm going to take a look here. It's definitely heavier with a lot more over here. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just make this one a little bit bigger right here, make it a double board that's gone. And then maybe a sort of small one here. There we go. All right. Oh, well, that's a little better. So that way I can load graffiti on this side with a little bit on that. So let me take a look here and see how I'm doing with this. Make sure everything is all right. It's yeah, not bad. Probably could stand up. Be a little bit of adjustment here in the middle. That'll be all right. It'll be able to be pulled down anyway when I glue it. So, all right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna decide which side goes out, which side is going to face the buildings towards the inside of the layout this way versus going out that way. I'm kind of thinking this is going to be the side that faces that way. So that means all of the good stuff is going to go on this side. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I think this is the I'm pretty sure this is the package that I was using, or maybe no, these are a little bit bigger. Oh, I think these are way too small. I'm gonna compare to my other one. Yeah, it's the others. So those who weren't with us, this is what we got done working on earlier today. We got the back alleyway put in. I'll put more turf down back there, get rid of the big rocks. We have our asphalt in right here. Got to chunk it all up, blend this all together right here. Put in areas that have just fallen apart. You know, surround the thing with the grass and the weeds, and so we're getting there with that. And we also I did this earlier today. There's the back of the towers. I got all the electrical stuff put in. Let me get this over just a little bit here so you can, let's see, we'll go there. There you go. So got all the gas and electric in. All right, so since this is not it's going to be this one. Yeah. Oh, I'm not done yet. Got the bottom, but I need to get the top. Gotta get the top. So the top is just going to be just kind of nibbled. So all I'm going to do is just wiggle the X-Acto blade back and forth, just gouging a little bit along the top area here. But I thought of it before I started getting into doing all that stuff. Yeah, that's looking good. Just there we go. Almost have all this done. Just to make it rough on the top. I'm just wiggling the knife back and forth like that, just to make it uneven. There we go. We'll look at it here. Yeah, that's pretty good. A little deeper areas. That's what we want. All right. I know I said it's going to use the other one. Who's this guy? Yeah, that's him. No, that's one I pulled out. I may just go with. These are definitely thicker. Oh, that's better. That'll stand out. Okay. So we're gonna cut a piece here. How did I do that? I'll look at my other one. I can't remember how I did the inside. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I did that and I overlaid the one on the top. Okay. All right. We'll just repeat that. So It isn't this one, it is this one, because it has to be able to lay over the top of it. All right, so let's get that. We'll put that with this. Back where it goes, 'cause I'm always looking for small strips. Okay. Yes, I didn't leave it out. I must have put it back in. Oh, that was good. So, yeah, I don't have it yet. Okay. Got that. Line that up. I'll cut 2 of these. There's one. Let's see, am I gonna have enough to do these? I don't have enough to do one more. Fence. I'll have to, when I get to, well, that'll be the Salvation Army area. Okay. So we're gonna lay the bead glue down, and we're gonna put these 2 on there. Oh, Josh says hi. Hey, Josh. Gabe says hi. All right. I'm gonna get a thin bead of glue going. Josh says I'm watching 2 lives. Oh. All right. So we're gonna take this guy. We're gonna put him right there. I'll clean my fingers off here in a minute. Come on. Start to set up before I get down here to finish this up. All right. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be perfect because the fences in real life aren't, especially one this old. It's going to have dips and things. So let's take a look here. That's all right. The wood has sagged over the years, but it's pretty straight. Okay, so we got the first cross beam on. Now we'll get the other one. This is where it'll be cool because it's going to go across the gaps. Josh says I can't believe I can watch 2 live streams on 2 different cell phones. Multitasking. Okay. Got that one in. Well, I mean, we're going to get that one in. Which one is it? I think that's full one. Is it? That's it. Yes. Okay, so here we go. Gotta get this guy in nice and neat. right. Let's see how that looks on the other side. Oh, yeah. And now you can probably see the beams going across, spanning the open areas. I gotta get this up a little bit closer here so you can see how that does. So that's the effect we want, and there it is on the back side. Of course, you know we're going to paint this, so all the glue is going to be gone, everything. So that's pretty good. So, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8 uprights. And I think the way I did that was I just cut them. I didn't mess around with this too much. I just right. 1. Sounds like the printer's going. What's on? What's on? What's printing now? What's printing now?
Oh, it's the second front wall window.
Oh, okay. Did it take that long to finish up that base?
No, I already got one of the windows done.
Oh, okay.
This is the second of them. So this is the last of the front wall.
Last of the front wall? Oh, okay.
I'll get started on the side.
He's working on the Alexandria Hotel for us. We'll be building that this week. It's going to be our tallest building, and that's saying a lot for those of you that know our layout. We got tall buildings. All right, so there is 6.
I asked what you're working on today.
Today I'm working on the fence for the back of the second block on the Skid Row. We just did a bunch of basing, getting some materials on the first one. So now we're down to doing, we're starting to move into the second block now. All right, let me put these back in here. What I've got left over, because I'm going to need every bit of it. So, measuring time. All these bits right here, let's see, not that one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Okay. So we're going to see what we got here. I'm going to go to the ten and a half, which will be 5 1/4. Oh, looky there. All right, so we're going to do that guy. All right. 1/4 is going to be 2 1/2 and 1/8. That'll be right there. All right, so where's my middle line here? Is that right? Yep, that is. Okay. Gentlemen, everything out of the way. So let's see, that's 5/8, so 1, 2 1/2.
Josh asked how your allergies are
Oh, they're doing okay. Thanks for asking, Josh. Still got that infected ear. Can't seem to get rid of it. Ran a whole batch of antibiotics. Doesn't seem to do much. But thank you for asking. Still not sure on that. Let's see. On that chest thing, I'm pretty sure I've got a cracked rib. Okay. Now I got all my points for these little guys. There he is. What are you doing all the way back there, buddy? Come over here. All right. So now we're going to start putting the beams on. Get too much of a block. I'll get that cleaned off. Put that back up here. All right. So. Got a little long there. I'll trim him down. I'll make it even on the bottom and I'll trim the top when it comes time. Not quite how that happened. They're all coming out long. That's weird. Yeah, when it dries, I'll get it taken care of. Just trim off the excess. I get all this brown paint back here to look really good. It's all weathered up. Okay. Almost. Oh, I have my second fence done. We'll probably do a live stream tomorrow night. We'll do some more running. We should have most of the foundation in on the 2 towers for this area. You know what? I didn't cut enough. I didn't take into account the ends. Great. So if you're new and you like what you've seen, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notifications so you don't miss out on those coming up. So you're on your layout, huh? Excellent. Good day to be on it. I decided to get a bunch of this stuff done. One more. I didn't leave any, did I? Of course not. Why would I have? far. There we go. All right, last one, make sure. Yep. Last one. All right. All righty, well, that's it. So just let it dry, and I'll trim off all these little beams that came up too much. So like I said, you can see all the nice beams coming through, and not one of them wound up being across one of the opens, so I don't know how that happened, but that worked out pretty good. So we will we'll let that one set. Yep, that'll be good. Okay. We have our next fence ready to go. Let's see how all this is drying up. I'll bring it back up. Doing pretty good. So it's still way too dark. It'll get down to that sand color. It'll get to this nice light color tan here all along the back. Once it's dried, this will dry a little lighter too, which will be good. Like I said, once it gets to the point where this is all dry, I'll come in, I'll chunk out bits of it to make it look like the asphalt has eroded away. Definitely going to have to, I think, put another coat of glue on there. Just play it safe. So, where is my glue? Oh, it's back here. Yeah, it penetrates really well. And we'll give this till tomorrow to dry. And then I'll start working on filling in the areas between the buildings. So, I think we're going to call it quits there for the day. Did a lot of work. So we now have this going. We've got the other foundation painted. I've just got to put the light color on top. So I think we're all right. Like I said, this fence matches this one right here. So we will be finishing it up. Seems like it's got a slight bow to it, but I think it's got some good flex to it. So when I get ready to glue it down, it shouldn't be that big a deal. Let me take a look here. Oh no, it'll be fine. All right. So we will have a live stream tomorrow night. You okay?
Yep.
Okay. It's all out of the way here for you.
Oh, no, you're good.
Just move that. There you go.
All right.
So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today. Just spending the day getting projects done on the layout. Trying to get ourselves to up the point of being able to start finishing areas. So we're getting close now. So we will show all of this tomorrow evening. Like I said, if you want to like and subscribe and notifications, so if you want to see the next step on these, We may do another one in the afternoon like this later this week. Because if I get some green, well, not if, I've got the green, so I may put the green around the areas, start filling the areas in right there. Weeds growing, things like that. We may do a live stream on that.
Josh says, see you on tomorrow night on live stream, because I'll be watching 2 live streams tomorrow too.
Okay, yep, it'll be tomorrow night. So we'll probably do a horizontal tomorrow night. Like I said, it's not going to pop up easy for you to find. So it really would be good to like and subscribe and hit the notifications if you want to see it. So anyway, thank you everybody for being here today, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.